Well, hello there folks, good evening and welcome back to the Masters Championship. Tonight, as you can see by the title of the video, it is TMC 3 years, which it, as a matter of fact, actually is tomorrow, which is the 24th of October. That's basically 3 years since TMC was first formed. But first off, I'm going to introduce a person who's going to help me talk through everything, and that is the co-admin, which is Timo. Would like to say hello.
Yeah, thanks Dan. Hello lads. Thanks for the nice intro, for your nice words, and thanks for having me. Yeah, 3 years TMC. What a journey this has been so far, and I've been enjoying it a lot, and yeah, I hope for more seasons to come for sure.
Yeah, hope for plenty more seasons. There's a lot more things in the pipeline. Me and Timo have been talking, and there's going to be a good few changes maybe next season, seasons afterwards, and all that there. But basically what this video is going to be is we're just basically going to say, basically me and Timo was going to talk about our personal journey through TMC. We were going to get other drivers in, but unfortunately it's a bit too late and it's 10:15, and I think most people will probably end up going to bed or not really want to watch the thing at 10:15, so we decided to just scrap that. But basically it's just talking about TMC, how it was first formed and all that stuff. But I know how TMC was first formed, so Timo, if you don't mind, I'm going to talk through this just a wee bit, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, that's okay, go on ahead mate.
So basically TMC was first formed as, beforehand there was Richie and Lilliard, who I have to say, like, people had a big massive bit of beef with the two of them, but I have to say a massive thank you to them for TMC, because if it wasn't for them personally, TMC wouldn't have been formed. But yeah, it started off whenever we were all racing this so-called league, which was Selby GP, and we all were getting very annoyed and a bit, I'm going to say, pissed off with how things were going. And Richie and Lilliard decided, let's just go and make a different league, and they called it the Masters Championship. They contacted me saying to me, did I want to join? And I was more than happy to jump at the chance, and I'm very glad I did, because there's been some fantastic racing, met some fantastic people. There's a fantastic, like, sort of like family aspect in the TMC chat. Yes, everybody bickers and falls out and everything, like, but you know, that's what people do. But there's a real strong base in TMC. Like, there is passionate drivers. There's also drivers that just sometimes don't want to be here, but you know, they don't want to be here, then you just kick them out. So it's not really too bad about that. But yeah, continuing on, so once Richie and Lily basically just formed a thing, they contacted me. I started talking around, see what drivers wanted to join. They managed to get drivers in, which joined, and the first race was Australia, which was the 24th of October, I do believe 2016. And yeah, it was a fantastic race. It started off well. Not many people knew Harry Chaw was racing, and to be fair, it actually was a fantastic race. Like, throughout the whole of season 1, the racing was actually fantastic. Like, the best race, one of the best races probably ever of TMC was season 1 Austria. Like, that was just an unbelievable race. Like, people at the end of the race on intermediates, other case coming on dry tires, people winning. It was just absolutely insane. But yeah, and then it's slowly people have started getting quicker at every game. The pace level has got a lot higher. The racing is still relatively the same. There is a wee bit of dodgy racing now and again, but that's what happens in league racing. Not every race is particularly clean, but here races are clean basically like 90% of the time, and haven't really had much reports this season to do either, so it's all been fantastic. But yeah, that was just a quick run of how TMC was formed. But as before I move on to Timo, I'm just going to say again a massive thank you to Richie and Lily for forming the league. I don't know if the two of them will watch this video, but if they do watch it, thank you very much. You did a fantastic job while you were here, and I'll do my best to keep it in good hands for you. But yeah, Timo, just simply tell me, Timo, how has your journey been through TMC?
Yeah, starting in TMC, I actually joined TMC through a friend. You might know them still. They were Jeff and Decky. They were there in Division 3, and contacted Richie then after I've been told that by Decky and Jeff. Yeah, there's a league you could join. I messaged Richie and said, yeah, I would be on the waiting list. That was like in Bahrain or China, that race. 2 or 3 weeks later, Richie messaged me back and said, yeah, there's a spot for you available. You could join TMC in Division 3. And my actual real race, then my debut race in Division 3, Season 2, was Spain. Not really a good debut to remember. I think I got P15 there, really struggling there with pace. Was also a bit unexperienced as well in terms of practice and the racing itself. So it was just a long journey this season to really get going and learn all the stuff you need to know, what's important in terms of racecraft and so on. So also, yeah, I finished last that season, not really of a surprise, because I struggled early on then when I joined TMC. Coming to Season 3 then, was Division 3 as well. I think that was my season in a half. That was also a season where I didn't really cared about practice and stuff. I really just turned up for the race and didn't really practice, put the practice in, didn't really know about tire strategy. And yeah, till the end of the season I really struggled. Was in a big relegation fight with Nicolo, I think it was. And was really a hard journey till Abu Dhabi, where in the end got relegated or raced by Nicolo as well, who DNF 13 times or so. Though that was really, I think, the deepest point of my early career of TMC. Fresh start then for Season 4, I guess, Season 4 in Division 4. That was my most successful season, it has to be said. It was great driving there with Focky, Synchronizer, Adam. Great racing I've had there with my teammate Bomber. So we both got relegated that season, or the season before, and just tried our best to get back to Division 3 again. That was really successful, as I said. Got promoted again as runners-up. And then Season 5, where I started off in the Toro Rosso. We had a really good start as well, but that was also the season that got restarted due to a lot of driver jumps up and down the leagues and so on. So I was really a bit annoyed that this Division 3 season got restarted, because then last season, Season 6, you all know the season, it was more or less a nightmare season, had 4 or 5 points after 10 races or so. Not really happy about my performances. Till the end of last season, it was a bit better. The last races of USA, Mexico, Brazil got decent points, but it wasn't the best. That's also the reason why I was nominated for flop of the season. So a bit of harder times I had to negotiate with. So that wasn't the best for sure. And this season, Season 7, almost to the end as well. We're already in Japan next week, so the time flies by so quickly. And this season is a bit of an up and down season, to be honest. From Great Britain till I think Belgium, I had DNFs 4 times in a row. Started off really well, it has to be said, on a bit of retirement streak. But from Italy towards Russia, from Tuesday, it was a bit better than with my points. And I hope to keep that point streak up and finish this season with a top 10 result. So looking forward to it. A few more races to come this season, and I hope that I'm in a good spot for next season as well in Division 2. That's it, kind of. The long version.
That was very well put, Timo. But before we do say about what's coming up in the next couple of seasons, what's coming up very shortly and all on the TMC stuff and all, going through everything that you just said there now, can you pinpoint 2 highlights of your whole career in TMC, like a good point and a bad point? Like if you had a really good one race, or if you had a really, really bad race, like basically just what's your best and worst moment of being in TMC?
I have to say, I have several great moments in TMC. I can remember the first race in Division 4, Season 4, where I got my first podium of the season. I have to say as well, I never ever won a race in any league race, so I'm yet to win a league race, not only in TMC, but in every other league. But to get my first podium in Division 4 in TMC was a very special moment. I remember my first podium interview as well, that race. So that was great stuff to talk to you the first time, I think. I really enjoyed that for sure, and had I think 2 or 3 podiums in a row there. So that was a really special moment. Also the promotion then as runners-up in Season 4. I remember my first commentary, that was China Division 4, I think, in Season 5? I'm not entirely sure anymore. But it was the first commentary with you. The first commentary, the first experience in English commentating as well. So that was also a great experience. And in terms of a bad moment, that was for sure the relegation of Season 3. Behind Nicolo, who had 13 DNFs, it was so close in the end, but in the end I didn't even regret it, because getting relegated that season was a good thing for the next season to get more motivation as well. So maybe it wasn't that bad, if that makes sense. But a few bad moments as well, like last season, a lot of DNS retirements, thinking about retirement as well from the league, and yeah, a few accidents maybe during the race, but which was your fault. I remember Germany this season, where I absolutely killed 3 or 4 people in the race, so that was also a bad moment, and also I think my first penalty in TMC as well. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. What about you? You have some special bad or good moments?
Yeah, I've a couple of moments now. One moment that stands out to me in particular for being one of the worst moments. Well, it can be a good moment and it can be a worse moment. It was basically season 2 of TMC. It was Australia. I was teammates with Tom Pretty at the time, and basically safety car came out. There was, I'd say, 10 laps to go, and I was used set of hard tires, or medium tires as they were called back then. I think they were anyway. I'm not sure if they were the mediums, yes. And basically, I didn't pit. I think it was me and Mali Kekish didn't pit, and everybody else behind us had pitted, and I managed to pull out a gap at the safety car. And I was on for the first win of my career in TMC. I mean, I was absolutely buzzing. Like, if everybody looked back at the stream and seen my podium interview afterwards, like, you would see how pumped I actually was. I was swearing and everything. Not something I really do on stream now, but I was young back then, so you know, the hype and all the buzz. But it was a good moment because I crossed the line in first place and I felt like I won my very first race. But it was shortly taken away from me after I received a 10-second penalty for me and Mystic Joker having a bit of contact, as I should say. So it kind of is a good moment, and it kind of is one of the worst moments because I was kind of felt like that I was robbed of my first win. But it was a happy moment because it was the very first time I ever crossed the line in first place. So it's a bit of mixed emotions, but another best moment for me for TMC would have been the very first race that we ever did in TMC, which was Australia. Like, I finished P6 that day, and I was going into it absolutely not having a clue what anybody's paces were. And to be fair, the grid that was on at that day was pretty competitive, but I managed to somehow keep it clean, keep it consistent, and somehow managed to pull out a P6, and I was absolutely over the moon with it. And then as well, another highlight moment is my very first win actual in TMC. I'm not actually going to lie to you, I can't even remember what it was now. That sounds very bad, but I can't remember what my first win was on TMC. My head's absolutely fried about it, but people will probably tell me afterwards what it was. But yeah, it was a very good moment whenever I did cross the line in first place. Like, every win you get is pretty much a good moment because you just feel like you've raced the best you can possibly race against basically most of the best drivers on PlayStation 4. Like me personally, I felt every season at TMC has got quicker and quicker and quicker and quicker every year. Sometimes the driving's not particularly better than the previous year, but that's because sometimes there's sweaty drivers who are just coming in and just think they can barge their way through and all that there. But to be fair, it has been, this season in particular hasn't actually been too bad for wheel-to-wheel racing. It's been actually one of the better seasons for wheel-to-wheel racing in TMC, so I'm pretty happy about it. It's getting quicker and quicker and quicker. There's plans next season to make it even closer, make it quicker, make everybody turn up. Next season I just want completely fully committed drivers. So I want every division to be sort of like relatively around the same pace. I felt like this season I did a decent job with it, particularly Division 2. Division 2 is as close as anything. But apart from SH and Venom, as you know, them two are just in a league of their own. But with them two in Division 1 next season, it'll be interesting to see how they get on. Division 1's pretty close as well. There's like Medium Pilot, Scuba, Calsper, Matt, Kirsten Kev's also up there as well. There's loads of other ones there. So it's pretty close. Division 3 is also close with Graham, Caesar, Ali, Stevie G, Extrema. So it's all close. The racing is still very, very good, and I just hope it continues for next season. And I kind of went off topic there a wee bit, so I do apologise about that. But one of the worst moments for me as well, I would say, is, I'm trying to think. One of the worst moments for me about being a TMC would have been, it's not going to be like anything that happened in TMC. It did happen at TMC, but it's not something what happened on track in TMC. It's what happened with like likes of me, Richie, Merck, all them boys. Like, there was a time that the boy we used to race for, Selby, came on and deleted all our accounts. Like, that was one of the worst times for TMC because we felt like we were being attacked, that sort of thing. Like, a person was coming after the league and all, and we're all getting banned for doing absolutely nothing. So that was a bad moment, but we managed to get through all that patch, and yeah, pretty much been after that, there's been plain sailing. Like, I've been here, 7 seasons now. I've been here since the very start, and it hasn't really been too much stuff that I've been really caught up in. Like everything's just been plain sailing. This season in particular, like, things have been going very well. Like, I've been happy with the progress that's being made. I'm happy with how the stewarding and all is going, how the admin stuff and all is going. So I'm just happy about all that stuff. So I just hope it continues for next season. And yeah, what do you think, Timo? I know I went completely off topic there. Like,
no bother. Yeah, what I would like to add still there in terms of best moment was my first ever pole position in Malaysia season 4, I think it was. Can't remember it very well in the Red Bull. I have it on video as well, so that's just a legendary moment. And still yet not able to win that race. I finished P3 that race. So back at that time, that Division 4 was also very challenging. Yeah, but I enjoyed racing there. I really enjoyed racing. I think it really developed me well for the further seasons of TMC. And also legendary, I want to mention, was last year's Japanese Grand Prix, the Merc Bump, also very legendary. I know I've been going crazy there, that video, but now when I see this, I can't just laugh about it and remember that moment, because everybody just laughs when he sees it or hears about it. We speak about it when the race comes up. So also really appreciate also the friends I've made here. So really, really good to see how that all develops in a positive way. And another thing I wanted to mention is that Ali Reza has a message into the chat, and he says, Barry says hi and appreciates that TMC was the first league that accepted him. And now he leads the F1 Esports Challenger Series. So maybe through TMC he had the power, really the motivation to improve, and it's now there, has been there where it's now for all his esports stuff and league racing, where he did very well. He's a really quick driver, and yeah, just good to see that the appreciation is there and the motivation to race, and that TMC is a good implemented league in the F1 racing community. So that's good to see.
Yeah, that is very good to see, and I'd also just like to touch on that. Ali, you're very welcome for what you said. It was a pleasure to have Barry in TMC. It's as he's doing now, leading the championship basically in the esports thing. It's very, very good to see that a driver from TMC has actually come and done that. Yeah. So I just like to say thank you very much for coming to TMC. Thank you very much for racing and turning up every week, putting in good performances. And I just wish Barry the best of luck for the rest of the esports series, and as Timo does as well.
Yeah, 100%. Couldn't agree more. So all the best for Barry on his journey towards an esports pro draft, maybe, or even then the pro series. So it would be very good to see him in 1 or 2 years then live in London racing on his race seat. And yeah, all the best and good luck to him. Yeah,
and just one extra wee point I'm going to say, Ali, if he gets any money, slide some to me and Timo, please, would you? Thank you very much.
That would be really good to see.
But yeah, we'll move on to stuff that's coming up. There is an event, to be fair, coming up on Saturday night that Timo has organised himself, and I hope it's going to be a very huge success, as it's going to be representing 3 years of TMC. There's actually, you know what? I'll actually let Timo explain it, as this was his idea. So Timo, you can speak away with the idea that you have coming up on Saturday.
Yeah, first of all, thanks for the guys who already want to take part, who supported my organization and really made it easy for me to put all this up. And what we're gonna do is a free TMC 3 years cup. That means we will do free 25% races with 2 mandatory pit stops to just to have the symbol of free stints. So you race, make a pit stop, then till the other pit stop, and then till the end in your 3rd stint to have that free there as a symbol in this event. So it will be random grid, so everything to play for. Division 3 drivers, Division 2 drivers in it, Division 1 drivers as well. I actually can. Do you want me to read out the lineup? That I could do this.
Timo, if you have the lineup there, you can do whatever you want, my friend.
If the guys are interested to know that, maybe, yeah. I have the Excel list here. 1 sec. All right, I just do this. First off, we go to the rules of that event. We have, as I said, no setups, so equal car performance, it's just to pure driving skill as well. 2 pit stops, full car damage, dynamic weather, so all the weather can spice it up as well. The cars as well we will drive. We have first off for the first race we have the classic cars in Austria. The first race will take place in Austria. Race 2 will be with the F2 cars in Brazil, and the final with the F1 cars will be in Belgium. So also to have all the 3 car categories included in that event, so that's also with the number 3 years TMC. Happy birthday. So I hope that will be a great event. Taking part in that event will be Steven, aka Scuba MUFC, Joe Corby, both from Division 1, then Effrey from Division 1, Jordan, Kevin, or known as CR7, LTU Tom, Kerosene Kev, Captain Jobs, and Kelsper will be representing Division 1, so 9 Division 1 drivers. Then we have 8 Division 2 drivers taking part in that event. There is Bert, Adam, Venom, Luke, Sergeant Sway, Team C Wesker, Foggy Gut, Team C Merc, and Wyberg from Division 2. And from Division 3, so big shout out to these guys actually taking part against the big boys. That is Chessmeister, Unsafe Release, and Big Shock. So to every driver taking part in this event, thanks for all for turning up or for taking part. And I hope you enjoyed the racing, just to have a great night Saturday to see great races. And can't wait for the commentary as well. I will be in the commentary booth. And let's just enjoy it.
Yeah, Timo's going to introduce a very good and very hopefully successful event. It is a fantastic idea, but as Timo was saying, Tom has politely decided to join us, an original TMC member who started at the very start from himself. So Tom, thank you very much for joining us. And basically, just talk me through your journey. First off, tell me how you came to TMC, and then basically just tell me what your best and worst moment was whenever you were in it.
Well, firstly, hello to everyone. Hope you can actually hear me. I am one of the originals that started season 1. I was playing with Dan, Merc, Mark, Addy, and Selby GP, which turned to shit. So season 1. Obviously, the quality wasn't quite as high then. He and I managed a couple of podiums. So it was just building up. Obviously, I'm not one of the quickest, so by the time we got to season 2, more quicker drivers started to join. I was in a relegation battle, which turned out to probably be my highlight of TMC, when in the last race Mystic decided to turn up and I actually beat him on track. Which everyone thought Richie asked him to join that race, but it was actually me, because I wanted to battle him. I didn't want to stay up just by him not turning up, if you know what I mean. So yeah. Season 3, I was in another relegation battle and turned to pot. I didn't actually get relegated, but I think I was slowing down, and I asked Richie to move to Division 2. My love for the Formula 1 just went after that, and I left TMC. So I've been in and out a couple of times since then. I am now back, but hopefully I will stay, but I've got commitments in Philippines, so there will be times where I'll miss races. But I just want to have my saves. People don't really hear my voice because I'm so slow.
Like, no, to be fair, I wouldn't really worry about that. I do appreciate you actually coming on and actually taking a couple of minutes out just to simply talk through your journey. It's good to see that you actually, in your time that you have been here, that you have enjoyed it and you have done the racing. But in the later seasons, like, I know you only came back this season. Has this season been one of the toughest seasons for you compared to previous seasons?
Oh, definitely. Obviously, I only got about 11 points, and I didn't really know what to expect, because obviously there's drivers which I hadn't really raced with, and I've had my good moments and my bad moments. When I have finished races, I tend to sneak in the points, but I've had some stupid moments as well, like Singapore, and what was the other one? Britain. Silly mistakes. But I'll battle to the end. If I get relegated, then go down fine.
Yeah.
See what goes.
That's all you can really do. But I think by the way it's looking at the minute, I think he should hopefully be okay for relegation. So I don't think it'll be necessarily too bad. But it'd be good to see you in Division 2 next season, because I do feel that is the pace set that you are at, and with the plans that are coming up, Division 2 next season is going to be like kind of like the Division 1 of the old season, where it's a lot closer and a lot competitive, where the likes of you, Mark, Addy will be able to fight for maybe race wins and podiums most weeks. So hopefully next season that's the way it's going to be. But do you have anything else to add, Tom? Because what you've said about the minute's been absolutely fantastic, and I do appreciate it.
I do like to shout out for you actually, because I was your teammate for the first 2 or 3 seasons, and we had some good moments. We've spoke since the LBGP days, and yeah, I see you as a mate. And maybe one day, if we're in the same division, we'll be teammates again. But I know you've got a high expectation now, so maybe not.
I don't, believe me, I don't have high expectations, especially after the esports event tonight. I definitely don't have high expectations. But thank you very much. Yeah, it was a pleasure to be teammates. We were teammates for, I believe, two could have been 3 seasons, but I don't think it was 3 seasons, because I think you left just before. But yeah, I did help you at the end of the day. It did help you survive relegation, so you know that could be that could kind of be one of the greatest achievements I've ever did in TMC. That drive with me and you in Abu Dhabi against Mystic Joker, that was a hell of a drive, hell of a race. Jesus Christ!
You got me through that season, because I had so many moments where I just wanted to give up, but you kept me going. And that Abu Dhabi race, obviously, I needed your help then.
Yeah, well, I do appreciate them words, and you were a fantastic teammate, and I do consider you a friend. And as I've said to you before, if you ever need anything to talk about, you know, I'm just literally a text message away. So I do appreciate it, Tom, and I do hope you enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you very much for turning up.
No problem. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, man.
Thank you very much. And Timo, basically, we can pretty much wrap up the stream now, because I'm talking basically for about half an hour, but just a little pointer of what's going to happen for next season, as Tom has just left the party. Next season is going to kind of be, Division 1 is going to be based on a Tuesday. I have decided that completely straight away, that's being based on a Tuesday, because most drivers can race on a Tuesday, most of the fast guys can race on a Tuesday, so that will be a Tuesday. At the minute, Division 2 is going to be on a Monday. That's what I'm thinking at the minute, and I'm still thinking Division 3 should be on a Friday. If not, then I'll tweak it about where maybe Division 2 is on a Wednesday or something like that. I don't think it'll be a Thursday, because I know the likes of ILR and all that stuff's on a Thursday. So hopefully, I need to have a talk with the drivers to see if it suits them, and I want to do what's best for them. I know people say, oh, do what's best for the league, but there would be no league without the drivers. So I need to do what's best for the drivers, try and keep as much people as happy as possible, make people as committed as possible. And if I can do that, then I know for a fact TMC is going to have a fantastic season. Like, I do kind of run my mouth a bit with like the likes of Timo, Scuba, Graham, and all them ones. Like, I don't tell them enough how much I appreciate the help that they do. They literally, and Sway as well. I've met Sway and Bert. Actually, forgot to mention names. They do fantastic jobs for TMC. I kind of sometimes take it for granted what they do, but I think I should thank them a lot more for what they have done, because without them, realistically, I wouldn't have been able to run the division and the seasons as I have done this season. So I do hope that they will stick by me for the foreseeable future. I hope that they will stay and enjoy racing for the foreseeable future. I know Timo is thinking of something to do, but I'll let him explain that in a bit. He's kind of deciding what he should do for next season. Me personally, I hope he stays in races, because he's a fantastic aspect of TMC. But if he doesn't stay in race, then he will still be a fantastic aspect in terms of commentary, in terms of stewarding, in terms of adminship. So he will just be fantastic. There is also talk of other drivers taking a break next season. My personal opinion would be don't, because I think next season would probably be one of the best seasons in TMC for the stuff that is lined up next season. And for the drivers that I have coming into each division, I hope everybody will enjoy racing, because the drivers I have coming in, it's going to be committed every week. It's going to be fantastic racing, because I know that for a fact they're all clean. The structure of stuff's going to be laid out a lot differently as well. But this is just going to be kept by me at the minute until it comes to closer to the time, and then I'll mention it to Timo, and then we're going to have a talk about what to do. But yeah, Timo, I'll let you go on to basically say what you were thinking of next season. As you've heard from me, I personally would like you to stay racing because I've enjoyed racing with you on track. You're a fantastic driver. You are quick, even though you say to yourself you're not, but you are. You've just been very unlucky. But just let everybody listen to what you're gonna say.
First off, I have to say also big shout out to our main admin Dan Morris, because he gave me the opportunity and the chance to get in that, or put me in that co-admin spot, which I really enjoy, to help Dan to run the leagues, the divisions, the stewarding, organization of reserve drivers, everything what's there, organizing events like on Saturday night, that special event. I really enjoy that, and at this stage, thank you Dan for the opportunity, basically. So I really appreciate all that it's appreciated by you guys. So it's like taking and giving for everyone in the league, and I think that's the best. If the work is enjoyed and I appreciate it, and you enjoyed the racing, I think that's when the admins and the drivers are happy, and that's also a bit of my task, to have committed and happy drivers. And I have a part of that, but the biggest part of that is for their members. So again, thanks, mate.
No bother, Timo. But to be fair, you have deserved it. You have been very, very committed to TMC. So I do really appreciate everything that you have done. As I've said to the all ones as well, I appreciate everything they've done. I also would like to say a big, massive thanks to the drivers that have raced in TMC in previous years. Because realistically, without the drivers, there would be no TMC. And hopefully, now that we're doing esports events, people can see how good of a league TMC actually is. Yes, tonight we kind of did flop a bit, but Medium Pilot kind of saved us a wee bit, so shout out to him as well for actually saving our bacon a bit actually the night in the esports league, because we did get a bit shafted. But like the esports events basically are to help brand TMC as like wider, so people know who TMC is. People know TMC have good drivers, fast drivers, clean drivers. They run very well, and it's like a big community. TMC, like nobody, like people will take the piss out of you. Yes, they will, but if anything really bad happens, you know the ones in TMC will be there for you anyway. Yes, it's gonna sound, as I'm gonna say it now, it's gonna sound like a bit cheesy and a bit cringy and all that stuff, but people do understand what I do mean, and I just don't say it enough. I just like to thanks everybody for doing it, because there was a time. I'll actually say this bit just before I outro the whole thing, but there was a time this season that I actually was thinking about giving it up. Most people were thinking that was a piss take, but it really wasn't. I was just drained down. It's just I felt like everything was just going to absolute crap, and I just didn't like. It's not that I didn't think people were not appreciating my work. I just don't think I was doing the work to the best of what people want me to do. But people have says that they're very thankful for what I'm doing. They says I'm the right person for the job. I do appreciate everything that you have said, and I will do my best to continue TMC as well as I can. I even promised Richie whenever he gave it over to me that I would do my best to keep it alive, and at the minute I am. The racing's still very good, and next season, as I say, is just plans, and we'll see what happens. If next season's a fantastic season, the season after is going to be even better. So yeah, I'm eager now to keep it for the foreseeable future, but if things change, I know there's plenty of people there that are willing to take it off my hands and run it very well. But at the minute, I'm not going anywhere. I'll still be doing what I'm doing, still be racing every week, still doing main admin stuff. I'll have team there to help me every single week. So yeah, that's just basically just wanted to get that off my chest, because people were thinking that it was a load of bullshit, but it really wasn't. I was just down, like I was really just down and just couldn't really get back up, because I just felt the job I was doing wasn't good enough. But then hearing from the drivers and hearing from the people in TMC that the job I was doing was good, they felt I was the right person for the job, it kind of built me up a wee bit. And yeah, I did appreciate everything that they did say. I didn't really thank them enough for it, but they all know who they are, and I would like to thank them now for it, because I do feel like saying thanks on stream means a lot more than saying it over text message, because you can actually you can be able to understand it by the tone of my voice if I'm actually being serious or not. While over text you can just think, oh, he's just talking a load of shite. But you know, I do genuinely appreciate everything that they did do, and I will do my best to keep it moving forward. And Yeah, Timo, I do believe that unless you have anything else to add, I do believe that could be us finished with a 3-year TMC stream.
Yeah, to finish the stream off, I would like to say, to answer the question as well, I'm staying next season as a driver. I've decided that already. As a steward, I'm staying as a co-admin. So if there's anyone with a question in terms of your division, steward decisions, if there's anything you feel it's not right, come through me, message DM on WhatsApp, and I'll be there to help to figure that out. So I will be staying in Division 2, I hope. Should be pretty much safe then for next season. And yeah, all the stuff with Dan as co-admin, as doing, as I said. So the journey will continue. I was just doubting there where I had my DNF phase, the retirement streak. I was doubting about my skill. Am I good enough? Did I lose commitment to league racing? It's all a bit of stuff which goes through your head if you don't have any successful moments. But after Italy, it was that chaotic race in wet conditions. I got P6, then another P6, and P8 on Tuesday. So that's, built me up a bit, gave me more motivation to practice as well, to have good league races, because you only want to have fun. So the results are secondary, but the primary thing is to enjoy the racing with a community which has the same passion you do have. But better results or good results are just a secondary thing, I think. So as long as I enjoy the racing still, I'm continuing in TMC. So that should be secured for next season. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Really appreciate your time, Dan. It was fantastic 3 years and more time to come for sure.
Yeah, thank you very much, Timo. It's been an absolute pleasure, especially to race with you this season, because I haven't really had really much to race with you in the past, but it's been fantastic racing with you. I've got to know you a lot better now this season as well. That's one thing I would like to say just before we do finish it off, is that if anybody ever has any concerns about anything like going on in their lives or anything, don't be afraid to even come and talk to me. Like, I'm pretty much friends with everybody, and I'm not one of these ones that's gonna take the piss out of you for saying things and all. Like, yes, I probably will for a bit of crack, like, but in all seriousness, I will. I'm a friend of his, I'm an admin of the league, and I just want you all to know that if anything ever does go wrong with you, saying you can't talk to me, and if you want to tell me it, just tell me it. If you don't, but just let you know that I'm all here and I'm only a message away. As I said with Tom earlier on, I do believe he's getting married very soon as well, to a woman in the Philippines, and I hope that all goes absolutely swimming. I hope it absolutely goes fantastic for him, and I do wish him all the best. I'm here for him, here for everybody else. So just that's all I wanted to say. TMC is basically apart from my actual family here and my girlfriend, it would be probably my third family, because like I've been racing with these lads for 3 years, got to know them all very, very well. And it's been an absolute pleasure to race with everybody that's ever been in TMC. There has been a couple of, I'm going to say this now, dungbags that have raced before, but thankfully they're all out of TMC. The ones that are here now are absolutely fantastic people. Can't ask for any better. So I do hope that they all stay, and it does continue to be a good next couple of seasons. And Timo, that's pretty much going to be it for me and you.
That's going to be it.
I'd like to thank you for turning up tonight and basically just going through some of the 3 years that has been from TMC and what's coming up in the next couple of seasons. So that's pretty much going to wrap it up from me and Timo. But I'd just like to thank you all. I know it is late, it's nearly 11 o'clock, so I do appreciate whoever has been watching that has tuned in. I'd like to thank you all very much for taking the time out to actually listen to this stream. It's not the most exciting stream, but it's like you need some streams now where it's just the two people that are over TMC are basically just talking about what's going on and previous stuff, like just literally hearing their voice without anything else on in the background. And I do believe that's a good stream to have every now and again. But I just like to thank you all again for turning up, watching the stream so late at night. You are all going to be pleased to hear that the stream is finishing and you can all actually go to bed and hopefully get an early night. So I do appreciate it, but it is going to be Division 3 on Friday night, and it's going to be around Russia, and then we're going to kick off Japan next week with Division 1 on Monday at 8 o'clock. So Timo, unless you have anything else to say, that's going to be it wrapped up, my friend.
Yeah, just hope we can finish this season on a high. Season 7, what a season this has been, up and downs, but I think the ups have been predominant, so I really appreciate the season that I'm still here and all the admin work. And we will actually see big man Dan Morris in Division 1 next season, so wish you all the best for that as well. What can I say? Division 2 next season, I hope it will be a good season with my teammate Sway. So Luke, I really appreciate also your our partnership in Renault or Racing Point it was. So also great teammate, great community. What do you want more? As Dan said, tune in with me in the commentary box then on Friday in Russia. And then the event on Saturday night, the 3 years TMC Cup. Can't wait for that. Thanks for watching, for your appearance, and that's it pretty much. Thanks, good night, and keep it safe. Keep racing.